The verse in Psalms in Tehillim says, Tzedek shall go before God. Righteousness, charity, being an act of righteousness, shall go before God. Doesn't mean it itself goes before God, because the word is yahalech. It will cause something to go before God. What is that something that goes before God? That charity can sort of bring it there. So before means in Hebrew lefanav, which means inwardness. What it brings is our inwardness before God. The inwardness of every person is, I matter, I'm concerned about me, number one. Looking out for number one is me. That's who I am in the core of my being. When you give tzedakah, when you give charity, you're not looking out for yourself. You're looking out for another. That's what that statement means. In the act of giving, especially when you're hard pressed to give, when the amount is meaningful amount that could be meaningful for you, to build you, whether nicer clothing that you feel better about yourself, good food so you feel, nourished and enjoy the pleasure of that food. And now you gave that away. That doesn't mean you still don't have those things, but any meaningful giving is that idea of giving something that could build me, give me more life. And now I'm giving to another. Another doesn't mean just another person in need, right? Whatever the charity, just parenthetically, Jewish charity means giving to those people in need, but also to Jewish institutions that bring people closer to the ultimate need that they have to connect to God. So that giving, that tzedakah, then leads to the innermost point of the person's heart. That now, that heart, which the innermost level of our being, is self-directed, looking out for number one with a small letter O. And now you're looking out for number one with a capital O, meaning the one God. Now I'm looking out for God with my giving of tzedakah. Then what that results in is that you step towards the ways of God. As the verse says in Devarim, in Deuteronomy, and you shall walk in the ways of God. Be God-like. You shall go after the Lord your God, meaning be like him. And as a result, all of the performance of the commandments that we do, the mitzvahs that we do, and the Torah that we study, all will ascend through the inwardness of the heart that we revealed by making it not about me, but about towards God, giving charity, giving that tzedakah, is that statement. Now everything that I do goes along that path as a result. And this is much more intense and a higher level of divine service then would be that if you meditate upon the greatness of God, God and within your life, in the world, and that leads you to do good. Excuse me. Which that itself is wonderful, but that is external. Because it's my awareness that brought me meditation, contemplation about God, that brought me to do something for God. Here, it's my very core being that I'm giving to God through charity. Because charity is my money, my life. And that's the core of a person. Me. And the vitality that for me. The life, the added life I can give to me. And now I'm giving it away. And as a result, that's the supernal countenance that radiates to us by the act of giving in particular. And this then is the meaning of the verse also in Tehillim, in chapter 55, Pada b'shalom nafshi, that he has redeemed my soul in peace, or through peace. As our sages explain, this refers to being charitable and acts of loving kindness. That is the idea of peace. Right? Simply, you're giving, that creates peace, of course. But what the verse is saying is that my soul has been redeemed in peace through charity. Not only I'm creating it on the outside with others by the act of giving, but I myself have been redeemed in peace. And therefore, with that we can understand charity is the idea of peace. And our sages, as they explain, that peace is made between Israel and their Father in heaven through the redemption of the souls that are truly a part of God, that we redeem them from the grip of negativity, the grip of being self-directed. As every time I spend on me, I'm self-directed. Every time I spend it on another, I give it in tzedakah. That's an act of redemption of the core being. And that creates between us and God. Because we have that peace in God and us, so we're redeeming that peace in us, and that brings peace by redeeming it. In conclusion of the fourth letter, the Alter Rebbe says that this is especially so when it comes to charity of the land of Israel. For it is truly the charity of God. As God's name, the divine name, is revealed in the land of Israel. That's why it's called the Holy Land. Because the eyes of God, meaning the eyes, which is the innermost, the eyes is where the innermost connection you have to the person when you look in their eyes, because it's a window to the soul, meaning the innermost part of the person. So the verse says in Deuteronomy that the eyes of God, meaning the innermost of God, the life force from God and his attention, are constantly upon the land of Israel. And therefore charity will stand up for us forever, and our souls of true life for the foundation of life. For his radiance will be with us. Amen. Ken Yiratzin. Amen. May it be his will. Very powerful. As so in that we conclude the fourth letter. The Alter Rebbe was collecting for impoverished people in the land of Israel, then under the Ottoman Empire. As we learned in the second letter, that Alter Rebbe was imprisoned for that by the Tsar of Russia, because the Ottoman Empire was a foe of the Tsar of Russia, and trumped up charges against the Alter Rebbe that he was giving to the foes, or he was just giving to the poor that were very destitute in the land of Israel. So, charity brings peace, which we can understand. Of course, when you give, you create peace with others down here, but it creates peace with us and God. Because of that peace of God in us that we redeem, that otherwise it would be about me. And that's the charity, to give. So Joseph, charity is a form of redemption, absolutely. It's a form of redemption. Absolutely. And I just want to mention here then that many of you give charity to the work that I am involved in, with you, actually, and beyond. And I just want to thank you for that. Many of you do that. And it's much appreciated. And may you be blessed with. Hamid, I usually give tzedakah in multiples of chai. But does that truly matter? I mean, it's the giving that matters. Added to that, multiples of chai is a good thing. As a matter of fact, we just started now a chai club. I'll send you stuff about that so you'll get it. Yeah. When someone goes to the heavenly court after 120 years, the first thing they're asked is they're honest in business. It will be asked, will you give charity as well? Yes. Absolutely. Is there a greater charity to give than another? So the first charity is that you have to give is if you have those in your extended family to take care of their needs, your extended community, your community, an extended community. By the way, right here we have a community, right? Hence, thank you for all those that do give to the work that we do for the community, which is not just Chabad Zichron, but of course online and throughout the world. Giving to Israel. Actually, even before you give to Israel, you have an obligation in your community, physical community, and spiritual community. Giving does not include giving to a university, giving to a museum. That's not called charity, because charity means unto God. Those are not for godly purposes. Unto God means to someone who's in need, or that which promotes godliness. And whether it's a Jewish school like a yeshiva, whether it's a Chabad house, right? Those are promoting godliness in the world. University and a museum don't do that. Which unfortunately, that's where most people give their money. Now, a hospital, yes, because that's promoting health. That people can be healthy in order to serve God. But the purpose of university actually is the antithesis of anything of service of God, and likewise a museum. Now, does that mean you can't find it there? You could. We're talking about supporting it. Can you support it? You could, but it's not part of what's called charity unto God. Because that was clear over here in the message. Can you give there? Yes. Any other questions? Car. Oh, the Chai Club. I don't know. Let me see if I can put it up over here. I don't think. Let me see. Give me a moment. Those who sorry. We get our emails. I don't know if it'll work over here. Let's try. Okay. No, didn't think so. If you go to ChabadZichron.com, you'll see there. All right. Or anybody can private message me. I'll let you know. All right. I don't see any other questions. Oh, 1 second. And what type of area can be tested? I'm not clear of that question. I know Razi, is that how we pronounce your name? So I'm not clear what type of area, livelihood, shidduch, shalom bayis, Hashem can be tested. Oh, Hashem can be tested only when it comes to charity. That He will make you wealthy. Okay, so I've answered yes. Do you save challah bread for the next Shabbos? You could. Freeze it though, otherwise it won't stay. Okay, beautiful folks. Rambam is coming up. A reminder, 6:30 tonight we'll have Torah studies. 8 p.m. will be TRC, Tanya Rabbi Community. Please, if you're interested, let me know. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine coming to you from Chabad.Chabad in Montreal, Canada, where it's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Rambam coming right up. God bless you. Have an amazing, good week.